So I'm glad y'all are rocking and rolling. I'm glad to see you this morning. I know we got an inspector today, right? You're gonna give us this inspection, Dan? Inspections are important, and it's really important that you have options when you look at inspectors. So I'm glad we got another option in front of us today, and then we're gonna move through sales meeting. Alberto's in charge, so Aaron gets here, he's got it all hooked up, ready to go.
Oh, we won't give you a tough time.
Watch the cord when you come up. Come get in, Walter. I'm ready. Chris. Nice to meet you. Welcome. Good to have you. All right, let's hear it for the donut man today.
Okay, good morning. I'm Walter Sersner. I own and operate Focal Point Inspections.
Morning.
I was a little bit about me. I was in the Air Force for 22 years. My first base was Randolph, and my last base was Randolph, so I just decided to stay. When I retired, I did a couple jobs, and then I got my real estate license, and I did property management for 2 years. So 2015, I went back to Champions and got my inspector license and started our business, and we doubled every year since then, and I'm hiring a guy later this year to get it going even more, so it's really good. We do discounts for military veterans, first responders, of course. We also have super key access. We set up everything through CSS and get everything running so that if you can't make it or the clients can't make it. I had one yesterday. Everybody was out of town. We can still do the job and get it done. We process credit cards and debit cards on site. We have all the processes for that. We have super key access, like I said before. We work with Scott Woods of Bugsy's Pest Control. He does all of our WDIs that we have. We have Susan Tessier from Cinderella Pools, does all of our pool inspections. She charges $125 flat rate to do a pool inspection. For military, she'll knock 20 off that, so it's $105 for a pool. And she builds pools, maintains them, does everything, so she can give them a lot of information about the pool, about fixing it or what needs to be done. We also work with Raymond Hout from DV Signature Roofing. I was in a networking group with him, and any roof that's too tall that I can't access, he'll go and access it and put for free and doesn't charge your clients or anything, and he gets business out of it down the road anyways. But he does all those for free for us. It's really good. The other guy in the group was Ty Washington. He's Ty, the water guy, does water softeners. And he'll go test water for your clients and things and let them know if they even need one, because some places need it, some places don't. We live north of Timberwood Park, and ours is off the charts hard water up there. We also do have free services. We got flyers today. It's got the 90-day warranty on one side and the roof warranty on the other. And then there's a book going around we give to all of our clients. It's a home maintenance manual. Kind of gives a lot of good information about the house.
Nice.
Yeah, we use, especially for first-time home buyers, there's a lot of things, change the batteries, the filters, lots of information about the houses. Make sure everybody gets one. If they end up not buying a house, they take it with them. Usually they call us for a second time, and then if they still have it, we'll give them another one, and we'll leave it at the house. So. Yeah, the only other thing I had was that, like I said, I'm hiring a guy. He's at school at Champions right now. He'll be with me, I think, in September. That should be done. And then he'll go with me for several months to do things the way I want it done, and then go from there. And my brother actually called me. He wants to move down and work for us as well. So maybe even at the end of the year next year, we'll have another guy.
So you looking for a house?
He will be. Yes.
Now, there you go.
You give him
any business.
I might. Why not?
She didn't have any donuts, it didn't slow her down.
Well, good for you.
I work a lot in Beauparte. You have a connection with septic and well.
JD Septic is who we use, and then MJ, which is right down the street from my house, we use them as well. But JD is who we normally refer out. We've had them do our house forever. When we lived at Canyon Lake and lived here, probably for 10 years, we've used them, and we haven't had any issues with it. That's who we usually refer.
Well,
And
Oh,
water.
Yeah.
What next?
Do you do like a recap on the report, like big items, clients?
I book everything usually 3 hours, and if it takes me 2 hours to do the inspection, we have an extra hour when they show up. I take my checklist. I got a military checklist that I just can't let go of. And I walk them around inside and out, show them everything that I found, and then talk about what's, here's the big things, and here's a lot of it's just normal wear and tear. Kind of stuff. We
It's
go
like
over.
on the report, you do like a recap, big items issues.
Not really. I have it very descriptive in there. I'm a little OCD about stuff, so I put as much in there, but I walk them. Best thing that I do is walk around and say, they're missing an air, anti-siphon valve on the outside hose bib. And I tell them, it's $5 at Lowe's, it's inexpensive, but on the report it's gonna be red, so it look like a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff is very small.
Okay.
Yeah, but we walk around and do everything. We're looking at a new software system on Home Gauge, and it does a summary sheet at the end, and we're gonna add that.
Pictures?
We do pictures,
Good answer.
color pictures,
That's what the broker likes to see.
How soon for the review?
24 hours. We used to do them all the same day. I used to try to do 3 a day, but I'm getting old and I can't do it anymore. So 2 a day is fine, and we get them done the same day. They'll get to that evening, they'll have it. If not, then early the next morning, first thing.
Right, other questions?
I have one question on your 90-day warranty. How does that differentiate between American Home Shield or Lexmark?
It's just on what I inspect, they cover me, I pay for the 90-day warranty, and it covers what I inspect. If the water's not on that day, of course, it's not covered, but it helps cover stuff that I inspect, it gives them an extra layer of security.
Same with the roof.
Same thing with the roof, it's a 5-year deal, $3,000, normal wear and tear, it can't be hailstorm, lightning, tree falling on it, there's a lot of trees over the top, and they don't trim it back and it falls. Nothing that, it's gotta be normal wear and tear, and they'll determine that, it's in their guide on determines.
Other questions?
Is it price?
All right, thank you. We appreciate the opportunity.
It's all on our
to hear
website.
from you. Anything else for you? You good?
I think we're good.
All right.
Thank you.
What's the mortgage update, sir?
And the world is good.
Yes. In the nick of time.
Boy, I'll get rid of that.
Well, he needs a garage.
Just had a couple of reminders and updates from Mortgage Land back there. Just a reminder, appraisals are taking a hot minute. We are even ordering brushes on a lot of these and more than probably 4 instances already here recently. They've taken on the rush and still not gotten it to us. So when you're trying to cram in a 20-day close or something right now, even if the lender says, yeah, we can do it, just keep in mind, there are some things that are outside of their hands, even if they're ordering rushes, keeping in touch with the appraisal management companies. The appraisers are pretty rushed. So I would just be wary about writing those 23-day closes. Keep it closer to your 25, 30-day closes, and you should be fine.
Where I just had a USDA that took 20 days on the appraisal, and then he did it wrong. There was an empty propane tank on the property, and he just assumed there was no heat. It was electric window unit heat, and that
And
slowed
then
us
there's
down.
going to be a few more days having that go back and forth. So there's
Crazy.
testimony right there.
Absolutely wrong.
It's
Um,
inevitable.
Also, a reminder, this Thursday, we're having our first time home buyer seminar. Yeah! Love that video. Your co-star was awesome.
Yeah.
Gonna be this Thursday from 6 to 7. For anyone that's new or anything like that, every third Thursday of the month, we host the first time homebuyer seminar right here in this room from 6 to 7. So if you're ever just wondering, I wonder what date that is. Third Thursday of every month from 6 to 7. The number date will change. That will not. Also, as you have your folks come through on the open houses, have you ever thought just to send them a calendar invite? I can't tell you how much stuff ends up on my calendar, and I'm like, I wonder how that got there. Oh,
Not there.
first time home buyer seminar. That way it stays in front of them. It's pretty non-invasive. It just happens to show up there like things do. Also, right after
Like
the
a
sales
pimple.
meeting here today, we're going to do a brief overview of list reports. What that is it's fantastic free marketing for y'all. It's something that the loan officers and Premier pay for on our end to be able to offer that to y'all for free. Does a lot of cool snazzy stuff, a lot of automated stuff that you don't have to think about. We'll probably spend just maybe 30, 40 minutes going over, if you want to set up an account, there you go. And set up an account, just kind of go over the different things that it has, from all the infographic stuff, the things for open houses. We have some, the sign writers have some cool geo tracking technology type stuff that's way beyond me. That it does. That's actually really cool when they explained it. And all this stuff is free to y'all. So I mean, if you got 30 minutes after the meeting, come join me. We'll sit here and chat about it. Rates are still fantastic. People are buying homes. If y'all have any mortgage related questions, we're back there to answer them for you.
What's fantastic?
Yeah, what's a little?
Well, and probably government loans right now, about 3.75 really, with no origination, maybe a slight discount, quarter point, something like that in there, but pretty much any
3.75.
Maybe it's time for you to refinance.
I'm refinancing.
I know, right?
Yeah, even with conventional decent credit, you're still in the high threes, so things are good.
Thanks,
Right.
Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Couple of things. We have some new writers in the mix, so we're very excited about this. We now have an under contract writer, and we also, I know, woo, that's fun. I love to make y'all happy. Okay, and then we also have open house Saturday and open house Sunday writers back there. Alright, and so I hope you all got the email yesterday. We just, based on some last minute changes, we have a couple of extra spots for the movie. The movie is still only open to our agent partners and sponsors, just so you know. I've been getting some inquiries about bringing guests.
Mine already upset.
Right. So if you are still interested in going, please email me again. It's still first come, first serve. We may fill those few spots up, but just feel free to email me if you're interested again. And the meeting actually is going to start at 10:30. We'll have a brief sales meeting to start out with, and then the movie will start at 11. It'll run for 2 hours and 15 minutes. It'll be done at 1:15. Okay.
Remind us where it is.
So
Wait.
is the meeting at the
meeting
theater?
is
Here at the theater, we'll have a brief meeting at 10:30. Everything will happen at the theater. Okay. Sorry, I changed it in there, but it didn't.
Remind us which theater.
So
Embassy.
at the embassy. Yes.
Santigos Embassy, which is right there on Bitters and 281. Great theater, really comfortable.
There will be a real estate takeaway from this. This is not just a party day.
What?
I'm gonna use quotes from The Lion King the rest of the year. So-
Yes!
We can enjoy the movie.
So don't talk to him during the movie.
He's gonna take notes.
During the movie, though.
I
So-
do have a question about the movie though.
Yes,
I was just wondering if there's popcorn, is that available?
yeah, the
I
concessions are
don't think I
completely
can
open.
watch a movie without popcorn.
Yeah, me neither. I'm with you.
All right, guys, so good morning, everyone.
Yeah, I can.
So,
Gotta have
a
popcorn.
cool little thing that was added, I'm talking now.
One meeting.
One meeting, that's time. So a cool thing that was added to DocuSign here recently was the ability to archive documents. I know we've talked in the past about creating separate folders within your transaction room, so that way you can put away old offers, things like that. But archiving is also something similar. And in order to do it, all you gotta do is just, once again, check mark our little box, our little circle inside on the document, so that way this taskbar pops up. And in doing so, you're gonna see this little file folder, which says archive. Click on that, and it's gonna select the document, whichever one you had. Inside this case, this was an old seller's disclosure. I had this house listed last year, didn't sell, we relisted it this year. Well, the seller's disclosure, we had an update. So I wanted to take the old seller's disclosure, just archive that for our records so we can just have that in case for, God forbid, we ever need it for any reason. But I don't want to see it in all my mess. Some of you guys have quite full DTRs that we come across. And this might be a great way to clean up some of that stuff that's in there. So, and you can select as many documents as you wanted. In this case, this was just one document that I had that I wanted to select. So what I'm gonna do that is, once I do that, I'll hit archive. And it's gone now. It's no longer in my normal active folders. But if I wanted to find it, all I'm gonna do is once again hit the little drop down here, change it from active documents to archive documents, and then I will see whatever I've archived at that point. And it'll be there waiting for me
That transaction room?
within that transaction. So I'm not having to create a new room. I don't have to open up a folder that's also been stored in there. It's just switching the view from active documents to archive documents
Within the same room.
within the same room. And guys, this sometimes people have inadvertently clicked on this before and they're like, oh, bro, I lost all my documents. No, it's just they went into your archive folder. So do keep in mind that you can sometimes toggle between the two. So if you did do something by accident or unintentionally, take a look there. It could be there as well. Joe, you had a question?
No, I was gonna say, that's the same thing as opening another folder.
Correct.
I put everything in a folder.
Yeah, and like I honestly, on the listing side of stuff, if you have a listing and you did have multiple offers that just kept falling apart, the folder might make the most sense at that point because it still keeps them organized into that one particular transaction. But this is for, let's say you have the signed version of the contract, but not the executed version on it. And that one you're gonna put up into the task list later on. Well, let's throw that one over there for that instance. Let's say you have emails that you just have been storing in there because you want to keep that chain. Well, let's throw that in the archives. We're not gonna need that on a daily basis or to look at that anymore. So it's just a nice, cool new little tool that we have going, which I think is helpful and will help you guys clean up your folders a little bit more. So that way when Julie and I are looking at it, we're not just going through a sea of documents. That's all I got for you guys.
To reiterate, we love that you guys keep your key. Want to make sure you can find what you need. You know me, I'd rather you over-document than under-document. I am borrowing Scott's fancy clicker. I'm very happy today. I just ordered one for myself, so I'm click happy today. Education, Greg touched on this already. I'll let you know. I use this every time I have a listing. Greg emails me these wonderful flyers that I put in my listing book in a home, and they're fantastic. So I wanted to touch on this just so you know what he's talking about. It talks about the convenience of your listing, how close the closest ATM is, the cleaners, the pharmacy. I also just like having this knowledge in my pocket, so if I have an open house and people start to ask me those questions, it helps me be more knowledgeable about the area. They've got neighborhood eats, how many fast food restaurants are within 5 miles, other restaurants. So it's just a great snapshot for your listings to have extra materials and to speak about and to have in your listing book. That'll follow sales meeting today. Our upcoming Thursday trainings, and one extra I threw in, this upcoming Thursday, this training. What's this Thursday? No, it's next
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, what's this
This Thursday is,
Keeping clients forever.
Keeping clients for life. Thank you. I accidentally deleted one when I was updating. Thank you. Keeping clients for life with its title, which is the best practices for staying in touch with your clients. And then we have our following Thursday will be our farm and ranch training. I apologize, guys. I shuffle things around for 4th of July. So that's from 10 to 11, farm and ranch. That is a 1-hour CE credit for those of you who need your CE hours. Following that on the 1st, we have Appy Hour, which are some great apps that make it easier estimating closing costs, researching properties in the area, even touching on the MLS for some helpful hints. So those are great apps to have on your phone to keep you proficient. I am throwing in an extra training that's going to be a part of our Square One training. A lot of you all have been asking questions about maximizing your own deductions for tax purposes. I've tried to arrange a number of times for a CPA to come in and get busy and have to shuffle things around. So I'm just going to give you an overview that my CPA and I have set up for my personal taxes. For anybody who wants to hear it, understanding gifts. We know that they were trying to take away meals and entertainment. They took away entertainment, but they didn't take away meals. My practices for how I organize all of my tax deductions for the years and saving money. So you'll be surprised to hear I take a tax class every year. That's an 8-hour class on a Saturday that I thoroughly enjoy. And I'll just give you an overview of what I've learned from those courses over time. So that is a Friday. It'll be from 11:30 to 1 p.m. on the 2nd. And then our usual Thursday training class on the 8th from 10 to noon is fair housing and equal opportunity. So I've had a lot of questions about leases, what you can ask, what you can't ask, listings, what you can advertise, what you can't advertise when it comes to good for a family, great for seniors, all of this language that we have to be very careful with. So we set up a special course talking about these things, how to be careful when you're
your listings and having conversations with individuals in the community. This will be delivered by Ray, who does our Legal 1 and Legal 2. We've had good feedback from having Ray in the office. Yes.
So is that one a CE plus also? I thought I had seen.
It is, that is the CE, yeah, that's a 2-hour CE. And he hadn't verified it, it's a new class he just put together, but he just got approval for the CE. So yes, I'll throw it on the calendar now. Thank you for asking. The Fair Housing Hour is going to be a 2-hour CE for you. It'll be $10 per hour, 20 hours. From anyone to pay for your credit.
This is an training. I was reading an email yesterday from Texas Land Board that they are not gonna be doing their trainings anymore. Do you know anything?
I know, I actually just scheduled Steve, you talking about Texas VLB? Yeah, I haven't heard that, I just scheduled a training with Steve coming up in September, so I'm not aware of anything of yesterday. So, yeah, if he runs into it, let me know, I haven't heard that at all. Ma'am?
Did you say there was a cost to the fair housing?
The fair housing is free if you just want to come and attend, but if you need CE credits, it's $10 per hour or per credit, so $20 total. For everybody, and especially our new agents, understanding that our training is always free to you. You can always come and attend, but if you need credits to go towards your CE hours, it's $10 per hour typically, but our instructors are going to the board directly.
And remind them that some are SAE and some are CE.
Yeah, so for all of our agents, if you're in your first 2 years of your license, you need SAE hours. You'll need 90 hours of SAE hours, appraisals, inspections. There are a number of those that you're normally taking either online through Sabor or through Champions. We do always offer a Legal 1 and Legal 2, once in the spring, each of those, and once in the fall, each of those. So you need those as well, and 8 hours total. We offer those in the office on a regular basis. Those of you who need your CE hours, after your first renewal at 2 years, you need 18 credits of CE hours every 2 years. 8 of those credits must be Legal 1, 4 hours, and Legal 2, 4 hours. So again, we take care of those in the office on a regular basis. Thank you. I have lots of little quick information for you today. This Sunday is National Ice Cream Day. Thank you, Christy, for the fabulous visuals that we have. I thought this was a great opportunity. If you're holding an open house on Sunday, I would personally be handing out ice cream cones if it were me. If you've got a freezer or an opportunity to keep those cold. Fun reason to reach out to individuals. You might drop a card in the mail for $5 gift card for ice cream to a local place in your area, to your sphere. You might pop in and bring ice cream to somebody on Sunday in the area. Might hold a little ice cream social, but I just think it's a great opportunity to reach out to your sphere and touch on this. I will post the social media buttons so you have those. They are already in the marketing drive, but I'll make sure to post those on Friday so you have them in plenty of time. We've also come up with a couple of 8x10 or 10x8, I should say, signs. If you want to throw one in a frame and throw it on your kitchen counter for your open house, I've got a couple variations of those as well. And if there's any specific language you want, today is National Ice Cream Day. I'd love to be your resource for the scoop on today's real estate market. Thank you, Christy, for supporting the chief. Look, Alberto and we need a couple variations of signs, and if you want to do a giveaway that day for a local ice cream shop at your open house and those details, we've got options. If you want to see any different language, just let us know. Ice cream. Super exciting tool. If you guys saw the video last week, newsletter, Jill, you saw the video last week, Reagan, Alberto, Scott, and I came away from our managers meeting all pumped up about a lot of really exciting tools that are coming out. One of which is a new Moxie letter or newsletter that is beautiful. And it is an easy subscription, just like Neighborhood News or signing them up to get those campaigns where they get happy holidays messages. This is a newsletter that all you have to do is say, I want to subscribe my database to this newsletter, literally. Don't even have to go individually. And every month they'll get this newsletter. The way this looks is an email. I was just trying to jam it in. It'll come as an email branded from you to your clients, anybody you have in your Moxie database. And this is one streaming long newsletter that goes through these topics, but I wanted you to see examples of those topics that are coming. So it's a quick newsletter that goes through San Antonio specific real estate news, upcoming local events, tips for your home and information, San Antonio market statistics if they want general statistics. We'll have automated featured listings, but you'll actually have the opportunity for those of you who want to personalize this, you can drop in your listings into this newsletter very easily. Right? Nobody's nearly as excited as I am. Are you all like, are we gonna turn this on?
Yes. Excited.
I know. I'm really excited. A couple of comments to make. You're gonna get an email about this from corporate, from our Austin office, just letting you know, or from Edward and Tony, our marketing directors, next Tuesday. They're gonna roll it out Tuesday. I personally am going to let them get all the kinks out, all the bugs, work on all the details, and then we are going to talk about this in great depth the following Tuesday after our movie. And then we're gonna have a workshop for anybody who wants to turn it on. I will send it in here so we can sit with our computers and we'll workshop it. So just now, I wanted you to know you're going to get an email. I could not be more excited about it, but I wanted you to know we're gonna talk about it in great depth so that you are ready for that. Another side note that I want to mention, if you guys are running into content that you would love to see in the newsletter, email it to Christy. If you'll email it to Christy and put in the subject line newsletter, something that tags it, we're going to keep a database of that so you guys can help contribute to this content over time as well. Keep in mind when you send content, we're always looking to make sure it's current. So if it was 3 weeks ago, we might not post it for a newsletter that goes out next week, but we value your input. And we know you guys do a lot of posting on social media, so help us build this content as well.
Is it gonna be just local?
It's all local. This is all San Antonio. Yep, so Austin has their own newsletter, and this is all San Antonio specific.
Is all the training held here?
It is. Yep, absolutely.
Ultimately, we'll be able to put videos in there. Imagine that.
Yeah, videos, there's gonna be all kinds of videos, all kinds of, there's video, we built the agendas for like the next 6 weeks, but I'll give it a second. I'm on overdrive. Sue?
Do you know where the events are picked up? Is it from the convention center or something?
Some of them are from 210, the website 210 for things happening in San Antonio. It's going to vary. It's not going to be the same resource all of the time. So it's things that we feel, Reagan and I are providing input. That's why we said we'd love for you guys to have input as well. We're scrubbing all of the content to make sure it's what we feel is going to be relevant. It's not something that's generated by Moxie somewhere else. That answer your question?
Is this going to be replacing neighborhood news, or you'll have the
No,
choice of
we
one or
have
the other?
both.
Okay.
And it's going to be, for those of you who have been working for your campaigns,
Mhm.
it's just a campaign that you'll be able to turn on for your clients, and every month it'll automatically go out. If you want to personalize it ahead of time, we'll coach you through adding your own listings and those details. So it truly is an easy to use tool.
Anything for New Braunfels, Canal County?
Not specific, this is gonna be, when I say San Antonio, it's the whole broad market. So we actually, when we have Worst Fest, we already talked about those types of things, it's going to
Like
include.
the markets, statistics.
And that's our Sabor broad market, so it includes New Braunfels also, but not a specific. If you find any specific links for us, yeah, send it to me. That we can incorporate, that's why as we build content over time, we wanna make sure that it's our whole broad market.
So will that include, or possibly include up into the hill country and those areas? Okay.
Absolutely. That's all part of our broad market when you ask. Sorry, everybody, you get jumbled into San Antonio, but yes.
Does the San Antonio real estate communities click out for different sites?
Yes, it all clicks
Do you
out to
use,
different sites.
like Realtor.com, Zillow? or
Only
anything like-
places that we feel are going to be, that we want to be associated with. are
Not
clicking
Zillow.
out.
Not
Yeah. Realtor.com, NAR, some of it's gonna click right back to blog entries that we've created from a company standpoint. Again, it's all, not something that Moxie is creating for us, it's us driving that. Good questions. I thought that was, sorry, Reagan, I told you that was a
Keep going, girl.
2-second slide.
You're good.
For those of you who are completely overwhelmed by all of your campaigns, individuals such as Ryan Greer and a couple of other folks have volunteered. If you say, Moxie, what? And you want something to set up, somebody to set up your campaigns and start organizing your database for you, Ryan's coming up with a flyer that he's going to post. So I just wanted to plant that seed. If you want to have him scrub, turn on your Moxie campaigns, your newsletters, all of those things, he's willing to do that. So thank you, Ryan. He's been happy to take the charge. He's helped us with setting up a lot of those tools and wants to do so over time. Another quick addition, if you go to our JB Goodwin website, jbgoodwin.com, you click on San Antonio, we are now going to be featuring all of our open houses with direct links and contact information on the website.
Yes.
When you click on that, we just have a few that were entered so far. There's going to be a map showing all of those open houses, and that includes all the Hill Country, anything affiliated with our division as well as links to the direct open house information. This is driven by you putting the open house into the MLS. That's where we have to pull this from in order to populate all this information. So when you're having an open house, make sure the listing agent has put that open house into the MLS for you. And if you need any help with that, let me know. Exciting stuff. Woo.
Is there an updated figure for how many hits our website gets a month? It used to be 300.
It was still averaging about the 330,000. I think we were 328,000. So we haven't updated. It was close enough.
When is that gonna be live?
It's live. So if you go to the website now, it's on, and any of those open houses you add to the MLS, they all auto-populate within a couple of hours. What? I'm almost done right now. Trading slide also, a quick addition for you. We have a new addition for open houses. If you click on that, it's got quick resources, reminders on how to market your open houses, resources for different information. A new training video that was put together by one of our vice presidents in the Austin division. It's about 20 minutes. It is well worth the watch. It is very similar to my personal practices in an open house. If you're struggling with either capturing information or hearing back from people on open houses, this is a great tool. It uses the word vomit a little more than I would like, so because it talks about relaying. I got your attention, you are and these barf. That's what Reagan suggested. Maybe barf would have been better. And what he's describing is talking about how you need to be sharing real estate information so they see your value. Don't just work on being their friend. They're not there looking for a friend. They're looking for somebody who knows real estate. So it is a funny and entertaining way to describe it. Part of the vomit, but it is great material. I guarantee you will help you capture more business if you're struggling with that. Joe.
Context regurgitate.
There we go. I think that is a great. I'm just gonna sublet a little bubble over it. That's what I regurgitate. Take a peek at this. The 20-minute video is also broken down into sections. If you can't watch it all at the same time, it's got little topics. You'll see also just our new level of training videos that I'm really excited about. Organizes it into little sections and different topics. So we're building some new content for you.
Where do you find that again?
That is, if I go to Boss Training Open Houses. Boss Training Open Houses. Last one, I'm not going to go through this in great detail, but it's here for you for a reference. I've had a lot of questions about our trigger marketing website, or our trigger marketing postcards. When you guys have a new listing, within a couple of days, you should receive an email that says, would you like us to send out this postcard on your behalf? They're called trigger marketing because they have unique codes built into them that trigger activities from the neighbors. So if I click the button, order now, it just orders that postcard that says I've just listed that property, and it blasts it out to the 60 closest neighbors. I love this postcard so much, I've gone into my quantum settings and I've changed my default to 200. JB Goodwin pays for your first 60 with those credits we load. But if you want to invest your own personal investment into it, of course you can do that. And I like it so much, I do that personally. So I've changed it so my button automatically orders 200. When this goes out, it's a just listed postcard that says, hey, I just listed this house. If you're curious what your home is worth compared to this home, text, visit this website, or take a picture of this QR code, and I'll tell you some more information about what your home is worth. We've got one specific text code that's specific to this one specific address that this card went to. So when they text for information, you get an email that says the gentleman who lives at 3902 Pedalia, Peter Hugo, is interested in learning what his home is worth. He can also engage for more information and turn it into a hot lead if he's entered his email address, his telephone information, or any extra details. I sold Peter's home, never heard of the guy, never met him until he engaged my postcard and was curious what his home was worth. So it can be a very powerful tool. Again, I'm not going to go through this in great detail. We have a training coming up on this in Square One, but this is my cheat sheet for how I reach out to those individuals and follow up with them to try to convert them from a random person whose name showed up because they engaged a postcard into a client. And I'm going to post this directly for you so you have it on the exchange and tag a couple of you who are asking about this. I will say the scariest part of this is the first thing I do is I either plug them into my Moxie Insights, so it pulls their information, their telephone number, their email address for me, or I pay 95 cents for that lead and contact information on Spokio, and wait for it, I pick up the phone and call them. But what I love about this is not an unsolicited contact, because they've already asked for more information on this postcard. So my script is up here. If I'm calling, this is what I say, because I'm gonna say, I'm calling because you requested information.
Yes.
So I'm following up and leading with, hey, you reached out to me, so I'm reaching out to you. So I'll include this script in here for you guys when I send that. But I know a couple of you had a great success. I know one agent in our office got 6 leads off of her 60 postcards last week and is working on converting those. So this is some resources and some scripts that you can use. I'm ready. Ma'am.
When they order any quantum postcards, have a few sent to yourself, so you've got those for your listing presentation packet to show off what we do.
I think that's a great point. When you order any quantum postcard, there's a button you can click if you want to have a copy sent to yourself. It costs you whatever that postcard costs, the 63 cents or whatever it is. But I do select that, so I have a pool of postcards to show as well. And if you're a newer agent and you haven't ordered postcards yet, if you go up front and you guys want to get one of those folders that has our listing examples and materials in there, we've got an example postcard that's just branded for the company, not you specifically, so you can use that as an example if you haven't built your own yet.
All that?
Yeah.
Good job.
We talk a lot about tools to be successful. Michael brought up the thing about the newsletter, about 3-4 months ago, when I told him it was coming a long time, and it's here. And just so many neat things. It's just gonna be really fun for you guys to start drinking a little sip, not the fire hose thing that you go through when you go through training. So Erin's gonna continue to bring these things forward, but it's still up to you to embrace them and utilize them. That postcard is probably one of the coolest things we've ever done. I mean, the ability that people have inside the company to make this stuff happen in one click is crazy. So take advantage of those things, and we're going to continue to see some crazy record numbers. While I was sitting over there a few minutes ago, I approved 5 DAs this morning of closings that are going on. We have never been busier. You guys are rocking and rolling, you're queuing up in so many good ways, and you're taking advantage of these things. So we move forward with a couple of things. First, Agent of the Week. I always look forward to that. We started talking about Agent of the Week this week on Saturday, because so many of y'all are so busy. We're trying to narrow down, who is somebody we really want to spotlight a little bit on. And this agent, so far this year, has already done 4.778 million sales, 1.5 million listings year to date. Really working hard. She's been great on phone duty, especially in the top 20 on open houses, which correlate into sales, which we talk about that a lot. Great level of energy, advocate for clients, never met a stranger, former rookie of the year. Monique is making her goal. Her goal, I will just openly tell you, my goal for her was 8. She's tracking to do 10, so let's see how she does, but she's working it. I mean, she just,
That's million.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
She is not that long in the business. This is 1.5 years she's been at it, and she is really rocking and rolling. A couple of things that I wanted to bring up, and a few of these came from our meeting the other day in Austin that I thought were worth following up, which is how many of us are utilizing those postcards. And you can see that, hang on to that screen, but you can see these numbers that I'm looking at on your agenda. So look at the follow-up down there. It says follow-up is key. So far in 2019, this is a big picture on it. We, the company, have sent out 145,000 postcards.
A lot of postcards.
That's a lot of postcards.
Yep.
Tens of thousands of dollars that are going that way. You guys are spending the money. But look at the number of contacts company-wide that we have had an impact on through Moxie. 341,366 contacts in Moxie right now that are getting contacted by JB Goodwin agents across Central Texas. We are having an impact on the market, and you guys are seeing the results of that by putting money in your pocket and helping a lot of people. So follow-up is critical, but the company continues to make it easier for you guys. You just got to embrace what we're doing, and starting with those postcards, that should be happening. What I wanted to point out on an article I read over the weekend is something that I personally, I'm excited for our business, obviously, but I personally find myself sometimes going, really? How much traffic can we handle? As I'm blowing down 1604, looking at the, the new 281 look, and think back when I was a kid, and, Bitters and 281, it was 2 lanes and all that. Here's what's going on in San Antonio, Texas. South and Southwest continue to have the fastest growing cities in the United States. Sometimes we forget about that. New population estimates released in May by the U.S. Census show that among the 15 cities, a bunch of those are in Texas between 2017 and 2018. 8 are in the South, 6 in the West, 1 in the Midwest, but 2 of the top 5 cities, guess where they are? In Texas, and guess one of them? San Antonio, number 2. Y'all, we are seeing uncharted water. I want to remind you that 66 people a day move to San Antonio. It was 64, now they've upped that number to 66. So what are you doing to embrace that? And Sue brought up a good point a minute ago, and I'm going to give you some ideas on some things that I think might take that up a notch. One of those is the website visitsanantonio.com. It's utilized by the Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to ask Aaron to pull that up really quick, just on the side note, and I will give you some thoughts on this. One of the things that I really look at is how I can help you guys come up with new posts. And certainly with that many people moving into San Antonio, there's a lot of things that even I don't even know it's out there. A couple of those are going to pop up. So really do embrace this site. I love it. There were so many cool things on there. You can do direct links to it. You can copy and paste off of it. You can create an awareness for people that are moving into town, as well as your neighbors, about things that they're doing. So I really think the city has done a great job as far as getting information out in front of people, so take advantage of that. And one of those, which is the next slide I want you to look at, is I don't know if y'all know, probably Joe does, because he's out and about. I love following the fact that he finds some really cool restaurants on a regular basis. Did y'all know there are food trails in San Antonio? There are food trails out there now because we are noted as 2 things specifically in the food world, one for barbecue and one for tacos. So there are food trails that are out there. What a fun thing that would be to post. There's a barbecue food trail. This is from the culinary part of what's going on at the Pearl. They're finding ways that they can expand that. So they go out, they test these varying restaurants, many of which I've eaten at, I'm happy to say. And then the second one I thought was really cool was the taco thing, Los Barrios. So what a fun post that would be to look at just the food element, and that to me would be a Friday post. If somebody's trying to think of something new that they're going to do this weekend or over a period of weeks, and one of the ways you could utilize that is go to that restaurant owner. I know Louis Barrios, personally, is a buddy of mine. He went to Lee when I went to Churchill, and we're still close friends. And he would love it. Call Louis and say, hey, I want to come down and talk to you about what's going on at your restaurant and tell us how this got. What a great Facebook post that would be. I guarantee you the owners of those barbecue restaurants would say, come on. So it's a great idea and a great way for you guys to help people that are moving to San Antonio and know what's going on. But again, creates an opportunity for you to be a resource, which I really love that. So it's in your packet, but this came off that Visit San Antonio website, just so you know, we'll dive into that a little bit. But I'm going to tackle a few of these. La Fogata, El Haro is on there, La Fonda on Main, La Hacienda is on there. A lot of those I've been to. It's a fun thing. Food is something that we all do on a regular basis. So let's take it up a notch, but be a resource to utilize your Facebook page to help people understand we live in a cool town. We really do. Part of the give back thing that has popped up recently, I want to give a shout out to corporate, specifically Tony, who's done a great job on the marketing side of finding ways that we can impact people. And one of those is what we've done with Buffer. It's creating an element where you see those really cool posts on our JB Goodwin Facebook page that you can now share onto your page. They're gleaning through websites on a regular basis. And I'm embarrassed to say that I probably don't update myself on what goes on the site as far as JB Goodwin's site as much as I should. And this just came up the other day and I never seen it before. It's been out there for a long time about what we do as a company to give back. I shared it on my personal page, got a couple of things off of that. It's huge, y'all. And like Nellie and John were out this weekend doing your Christmas in July thing, which I love you doing that. But we as a company do have an impact across the state with the things we're doing. Cass Blood Drive made it up there, which I thought was really neat. Obviously, pancreatic cancer is something that we're hating on a daily basis around here, and we love having an impact on just the community as a whole of what goes on. Every day you have a chance to do something. It's just a lot of times I think you don't really understand what that could mean to that organization. Sandy's done a great job as far as keeping us in front of the paralyzed veterans and different things like that. So I'm bringing up something that I used to do. Joe and I had a coaching meeting yesterday, and made me think about it for today. And it was in reference to when I was an agent, I would adopt a charity every quarter. And I would go to that charity and say, I'm gonna be promoting your charity this quarter at my open houses, just general things. And every closing that I have this quarter, I'm gonna give a donation to your organization. Would you be okay with that? Well, of course they're gonna say absolutely. And as a result of that, how many people would I talk to? Habitat for Humanity, Food Bank, Cancer Society, American Heart Association, Any Baby Can, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I mean, get the list going and look at ways that you can have an impact to bring attention to their organization, for you to talk to people, which is JB 101. You're not going at it from a real estate perspective, but you're going to get some real estate questions out of the deal, which ultimately could lead to helping people, which is what we're all about. So giving back is really a great aspect of what I love about our company. I love it about our mission statement when I think about helping people. So yesterday, I'm going to share a brief personal story with you that's just a good example. It doesn't have to be something on a macro scale, it could be a micro scale. I found since I've been on the backside of my health opportunity, but I just see life through a different lens. I really do. I look for things that I can help somebody out with. So yesterday I'm mailing a letter at the airport post office. Y'all have been in there. It is a circus down there. And it was after 5. I was on my way home. And so I went in to mail my letter, and I came out and I watched as an older guy got out of his truck. And I couldn't figure out what had happened. But anyway, got out of his truck and went over to, if you know the area I'm talking about, where you can drive through and just drop your letters in, right? So he's walking over there to put a letter in the deal, because apparently when he drove up, one of those post office boxes was full. And he didn't want to make people wait behind the line, which I wish he would have done for his own sake. But anyway, I watched him on his walker, thinking of my dad, to be honest with you, walking over there, just making it across the way. And then I watched in amazement for a few minutes as 6, 8, 10 cars maybe went around him. They wouldn't allow him the opportunity to get up in front. They would go up and he would stand there and make a little step, and then a little step, and then they would go around him and he'd have to back up. I was angry. And I thought, what the heck is this about? And this is not a Reagan Greer moment. This is a thing to tell you all. Opportunities that come along every minute. So I got out of my car, walked over there, made this woman stop. I literally said, stop. As I walked up in front of him, and I said, what do you need? How can I help you? I took his envelope. I walked around and put it in the mailbox. So he's still standing there, and cars are now mad. You can tell they're lined up. So now they start trying to go around him as he's trying to get his way across the street. So I found myself, I put my hands out like this and like this, and I said, stop. We're going to let this dude get across the street. So he gets across the street, tells me he's a cancer survivor. We go through this love-in together in the middle of the dang parking lot. I get in his truck, and the wife comes out, gives me a big hug, and I'm like, okay. Every day, there are things that we see, but sometimes it's easier just to drive around it. Sometimes it's easier not to say anything. Sometimes it's easier to look the other way. We're not that company. This helping people thing that we do is every day. It's not just about real estate. It's about having an impact on a dude that all he wanted to do was make one. Come on. So that's who we are. That's why I love seeing this kind of stuff out there, and I just love you guys embracing what's going on. Get weird. Embracing opportunities to talk about what the mission statement means is what we do every day. I see somebody sitting in the Concord. Clint had some people in there. I saw him somewhere yesterday, and I love stopping down and clients like, dude, this guy. And when I tell them, hey, I'm the broker, and thanks for coming by, and you got a great agent, Clint, he's going to help you out, and you just see their attitude just shift. It's just having an opportunity to touch a life every day. For the better, we're going to keep doing that. I got some closing thoughts. We got some great new listings I want you guys to preview.
There we go. We're starting out with Jennifer Bowman. Hey, coming up.
So I do have pictures. They'll come up in
Yeah.
It's going to be a 4-bedroom home in Brookhaven or Starlit Hills. Either one it's called. It's a very old neighborhood, built in the 1950s. This is probably the biggest house in the neighborhood. The gentleman who purchased it in 1956, built it in 1956. It stayed in his family that's now. It's been the same family that's owned the home. So she knows everything about it. She knows every year that anything was upgraded or added to it. It's 2275 square feet, 4 bedrooms. We're only at 206. She's got a little bit of wiggle room. If you have a buyer who needs some help with closing costs, we are willing to help with that. Meticulously maintained. New roof, new AC in 2013. She's kept a lot of the charms, so you'll see the pink and the blue tile in the bathrooms. She still has the phone little place in the hallway for your telephone. Original hardwood floors in the bedrooms, and then the terrazzo tile is also original and in great shape. 2-car detached garage. There's only one door, but it does fit 2 cars if you do them well. Anybody want to do an open house? Let me know.
Cool.
Awesome, congratulations.
Great listing.
Miss Carol.
This house is 2153 square feet over in Green Spring Valley.
Nice.
It is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and a pool in the back.
Very nice.
It's kind of pretty modern looking inside. There's no carpet except for maybe a couple of closets have a little carpet in there. But the rest is tile and laminate and vinyl. It does need a little TLC and some updates, so we hopefully priced it pretty close to where it should be to accommodate for that. But they're motivated and ready to sell it. It is unfortunately a divorce situation, so families gone separate ways, so they need to sell it.
Nice place. Green Spring Valley is
That one is
cool.
going crazy. It's 244.
244, Green Spring Valley.
That's mine. This one is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's off of Lookout Canyon and Canyon, is it by Speck Elementary? On 281 North Lookout Canyon and Canyon Golf Road. This house my clients bought in December and then got orders to move to Japan. So we are selling. Thankfully, we got a pretty good deal on the buying end, and they've done a ton of updates within the 6 months they've been there. So completely redid the whole house. If you look at before and after pictures, it's pretty amazing. But the house is listed at 305 for 2.5. It's one of the largest floor plans in the neighborhood. And they're putting a brand new roof on it, I think this week. It's got a new AC. So it's got a lot of the bells and whistles that are needed.
Congratulations.
Great listing.
We got Juan Carlos. Martha, Marie, do you know this one?
I don't know that much about the listing, so I can't see from here. Can you talk through it?
Yeah. Located in Eagle Bluff off of, where am I?
I see a tree over there in the front.
There's a tree. 2-car garage. What do I got? Listed for $320, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 0.1 acres.
UTSA area, I know that.
It's new construction.
Nice floors. Tile floors.
Amsterdam.
Good location.
Game room up. Pretty. Full vanities, nice walk-in shower and closet.
Who's a builder?
Excel. Nice step.
Oh, yeah.
Still room in the lot. So it is new construction, it's representing a builder, Excel Homes. Nice. Call Juan Carlos for more details. Who have I got? Sarah. This is Sarah and Alberto are co-listing a commercial property located off of Culebra. Listed for $490,000. This is more. Beautiful lime green. I love the color.
The tire shop.
We'll check out the summary in a second.
We will get some calls on this, is why we're showing it.
Yeah, we need to feature this. We will get calls. They're putting a huge banner up. Oh, cool. Huge banner up with JB Goodwood logo on it.
Looks like a huge food truck.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it was a garage originally.
And a bar.
I love it. That's an opportunity to open your own business. The turnkey, recently renovated automobile shop. Great investment opportunity as well for both property and lease styles. Appreciated. Okay. High traffic. I know they were really excited about the location and the signage, so we'll let Alberto or Cheryl speak to that a little bit more in our next sales meeting. That's all I got today, sir.
Great, some terrific new listings. You guys did a great job this weekend on open houses. I want to talk about that briefly, and I saw signs everywhere. I was out knocking around this weekend, I'm like, there's nothing, all over town, so good job on that. Lastly, the point I wanted to leave you with today, and then we'll do get to the order, is not very often, but yesterday I had a few hours that I spent going through what other companies are doing. You know, I've never seen numbers like we're, trying a new course. My goal for the company, for our office this year is 300 million. We're gonna hit 200 million in sales by the end of this week, so we're gonna easily surpass the 300 million mark, because you guys have really taken it up a notch as far as getting listings that are actually selling. But what it reinforced to me is, number one, yeah, we like those to sell, right? There's 1,200 brokerages in San Antonio. We're obviously, in the top 10. But from my perspective, the fact that we're in that top 10 didn't just happen overnight. It is so many different elements, but the element that I wanted to end on today, and it's just thank Aaron and really JB, who's on a trip, but he'll eventually get this. The extreme success we're having, in my opinion, is based on the quality of the training that we're having in our company.
Yes.
I mean, you look at all that stuff that we covered today. People don't do this. I mean, you're in a different place. Many of us have worked in another place. We didn't do this kind of stuff. I mean, we had training, every once in a while, but it wasn't this in-depth. It wasn't creating this hands-on opportunity. It wasn't automated. It wasn't in a perspective that was really going to show results of this. And so what was kind of fun for me, and sort of a positive negative here, is that I looked through a lot of the brokers, because I'm friends with a lot of people in San Antonio, and I looked through it and I'm like, oh, their numbers are not even close to where I thought they would be as I went down that list. We are stepping out in a whole new direction because you guys are embracing this. But I wanted to give a kudo to Aaron and to Alberto. Scott did a great job with Momentum. One of the things in Momentum, 54 people have been through Momentum since we started it. And when we were up in Austin last week, Scott reported that those 54 people have brought forward $43 million in business. And remember, Momentum is for brand new agents. That's crazy. I mean, companies don't even do 43 million in volume. And we've done that in 6 months after they go through Momentum to step into a role where they can utilize those tools. But it's still up to you. So we as a company and we as a management group continue to look for ways we can make this easier for you. But to me, I just wanted to thank you openly. As I sat there today, I was like, I am so blessed to have people like this. It's crazy. Never been better for me, broker, to have people like that behind me. I just want y'all to appreciate that and just ask other people at other companies. They don't do this stuff.
Yeah.
Love it. Go to the order. What's going on over here?
I have two things. A, for all you brand new people, this is the way it really is. This isn't just for y'all. And you're here because we're here, and the way that we present things, there's no better place to be. So
Amen.
Second thing is, put September the 21st on your calendar. We have an opportunity to be a huge part of a children's congenital heart walk. We have a whoa! We're all
When is it?
all right.
September what?
We're gonna have a new
21st.
Whenever somebody starts getting weird, we're all gonna go. Morgan Fuller, one of our agents, has a precious child named Kinley that was born with a congenital heart issue. She still has it. We'll probably have it all of her life. One of my old-time childhood friends group are going to be a huge part of this congenital children's heart walk for the state of Texas, and it's going to be here in San Antonio at the zoo with our connection at the zoo. So September the 21st, I'll give you more information as I get it. We need sponsors to do that. So of course we'll have a team with our JB Goodwin, everything for the heart walk. But we need sponsors. We need somebody to be a DJ, and we need those kinds of things. So start talking to your spheres of insurance influence, and see what you can come up with. I'm going to be meeting with her probably early next month. So let's see what we can do. It's a huge opportunity for us to help all these precious little babies. So thanks.
Very cool. Kinley's doing great, but there's still opportunity there, so we're gonna step into that role. Get in the order?
Well,
Sandy?
you have about 5 more hours to get your stuff in if you want me to
We got
take
stuff.
care of it for the paralyzed vets. Yeah. And thank you whoever brought a great big bag of pillows and stuff like that. Ryan,
Smart house.
Reagan.
Smart house.
Well, they're in my trunk. I hope I remember to put them out too. And just again, for those of y'all that are new, back in that corner, there's a blue plastic bin that gets emptied out. And if you donate stuff, I just take it to the very next one of 3 donations. And then the day after the donation happens, I print up the receipts and you just grab it if you need it for your tax records or whatever.
Love making a difference. Thank you for doing that. Get in the order. And here.
Easy.
Renee, then Mark.
I just want to say too that when it's just a real joy for me when I get contacted by other brokerages to maybe have coffee and come talk about their brokerage, to say that I'm really happy in my JB Goodwin family. Thanks for the good things.
Thank you. Love that. Mark.
I don't have anything left else to say.
That's
But I
how you really
appreciate
feel, Mark.
you. I didn't realize that we were top 10. That's pretty cool. Actually, I have a listing coming up next week over off of 151 and Military in the Magnolia Heights subdivision. It's a Lennar subdivision that was developed by 0506. It's a 2,484 square foot military family that's getting ready to PCS. Be like 220, something like that. I think days on market are like 8 or 9. So I'd love to do an intermediary and not even put it on
Great.
MLS.
Congrats on that terrific listing. Amanda.
I just wanted to see if there was anybody having anything coming up. I have a client who's also my cousin, recently divorced after like 30 years. And she's starting all over, and she is only qualified for around 135,000. And so she's just happy she's qualified for something. So if you have anything coming up that's 2 or 3 bedroom, that's around that price point, she's pretty open to area of town too. So let me know.
Yeah, those go fast.
Yeah.
Love it. Get in the order.
There's
Chris.
a special on TV tonight, I think it's at 7 o'clock, about the Lion.
About the Lion King, yeah. There's a lot that went into this thing, and y'all will get the method to my madness as we move over this time period. But there will be a assignment as you watch it. 3 takeaways of how you can apply Lion King to what we do as far as real estate is concerned. It's gonna be fun. Sandy and then Kale.
This isn't a heart wrencher, but we did already commit to Bulverde Jubilee on September 21st.
Oh.
So don't forget about that, and I think we might be the first to use the new JB Goodwin
Yay.
pop-up thing.
Pop-up thing. We have a pop-up thing.
So that will be good, and then just our mother, Trey, sitting in his JB Goodwin t-shirt in the dunking booth out at the Holiday Fun Fest fireworks thing.
4th of July thing, right?
Took in over 10% of what that booth did
Wow.
for the Bulverde Spring Branch Food Bank provisions.
About coming out in the next week or so, if anyone wants to be out in the Pine Silver Ranch area off of Braun Road, gated community, another pool house is kind of similar to the one y'all just saw earlier as far as age and style.
It's a great area.
And then I brought roast today. I was craving roast, and I
Sure.
made too much, so it's in the break room, but it's gonna take a while to heat up. So y'all.
We even feed each other. What more do you want? I think we've covered everything. I really want to thank you guys for a continued rapid pace July, but don't let it get ahead of you. Make a list and check it twice. Let's stay the course. Thanks for being a part of this meeting today, and have a great week.